Hi all, and welcome to this series of guides designed to help you negotiate the Plymouth Road Roundabout with more confidence. There are two distinguishing features of this roundabout. The first is how the flow of traffic is controlled by traffic lights. This means if the lights are on green, it's not as important for you to look right as you enter. But it's extremely important you watch the flow of traffic in front and around you. The traffic lights at another stage of the roundabout may be on red, causing the traffic to slow or stop. The second distinguishing feature is the layout, particularly the separate lines for the direction you are heading. This means it's imperative you use strict lane discipline. You ensure you don't stray into a neighbouring lane, and you're aware of any other road users in those lanes. In this guide we'll be approaching from Garstang Road West, shown here as A, turning right, taking the third exit and heading toward Fleetwood on Plymouth Road, shown as B. If you're required to take this route on the test, the examiner will say, or if you're following the sat-nav, it will say. So let's take a quick preview of what we will be covering before I break it down into more detail. You can use the overhead animation in the corner to give you a better idea of your positioning. So, I know I'm going right at the third exit. I can see a junction ahead on my right, so I delay my signal and position myself in the right-hand lane. Then once I've passed the junction on the right, I start my signal right. Then we slow our speed as we approach the traffic lights. And because they are on red, I will bring myself to a stop. Once they're green, I will keep in the inside lane and ensure I stay in the same lane all the way round, until we pass the second exit. I'll then default to the ahead arrow on the left, signal left, and slow right down, giving myself time to negotiate the sharp left exit, all the time watching for hazards and not straying from my lane into the neighbouring lane. So let's take a closer look. Remember, we've been asked to turn right heading towards Fleetwood. Identify the exit you need, and if it helps, count which exit number it is. In this case it's the third exit. We then see the road splits into two lanes. We know we're turning right towards Fleetwood, so we need to be in the right-hand lane. We now start our hazard routine. We check our mirrors, and because there is a junction ahead on the right, we delay our signal, but we still position ourselves in the right-hand lane. Once we've passed the junction, we can start our signal right. We then adjust our speed, approaching slowly in the right lane as we watch the traffic signal. We then see the first of three sets of traffic signals. They are currently on red, so we will wait in the right-hand lane with the right signal on until they change to green. Once they're green, we enter the roundabout still signalling right and keeping in the right-hand lane, following the arrows pointing right until we reach the next set of traffic signals. Having checked that they too are green, we continue and ensure we stay in the same lane whilst constantly watching for other road users. Once we pass the second exit, we then see that the lane has split into three. As you can see, there are two ahead arrows, a right turn arrow, and a third set of traffic signals. We know we are leaving at the next exit, so we default to the left of the two arrows, and start signalling left, having checked the third set of traffic lights are green. We then slow right down so we can take this extremely tight left turn at the exit, all the while ensuring we don't stray into the lane on the right and checking for hazards as we exit. Also, try to remember the tips we use when we negotiate a roundabout. Take your time, don't approach too quickly. Give yourself the time so you don't have to rush your decisions. Know where you need to go. Use the road signs and markings to help you understand how the roundabout is laid out, and which exit you plan to leave by. If you enter a roundabout not knowing where you need to exit, you're more likely to get confused, panic, and make a bad decision. Be aware of other road users at all times. Use the hazard routine on approach and use good all-round observations throughout, particularly when entering and exiting the roundabout. Always be aware of hazards and speed limit changes as you exit a roundabout.